Welcome, everyone, and welcome to something that I've been wanting to start for a really long time, which I didn't know the name until about an hour ago, which is Unfiltered with Paige Royal. And so, like I mentioned, I have some notes here so that I can make sure that I cover everything as I introduce this. Um, and basically, this is a test drive. I'm doing this video, doing it landscape on Zoom, because usually what I would do is I would just wing things like this. I would just do it live on Instagram or something like that, and I wouldn't have a great Wi-Fi connection and yada yada yada. And so the video wasn't very great. And this is something that I also am going to be posting over on my YouTube channel as well. So take a deep breath in and I'm just going to speak from my heart here. I do have some notes, like I said, and why unfiltered? I was looking for a name for this, and I thought to myself, why is it? There's lots of reasons why I'm doing this series for. I don't know what this is going to turn into, to be honest. But I guess one of the reasons is that the world feels like it's full of filters. It's full of like we filter our faces, on the different social media platforms. I don't have a filter on right now. Um, we use AI, artificial intelligence. In many ways, it has made life a lot easier. But there's things out there that we're watching and seeing that is actually fake. And we don't even know if the people that we're watching on video is actually real, which is wild. The world is full of highlight reels, and a lot of people seemingly having it all together when it's really not that way. And so I wanted to create something real and have some real conversations, talk about real stories, um, perspectives from lived experiences. And it's really all about honesty. Um, it's the parts of the journey that people don't usually share. And I'm going to start with me. So, I think one of the questions is why now, right? And, why now is because I've been doing this particular work for 6.5 years, both for myself and my clients. And before that, I had another business as a cycling and nutrition coach. I think it started in 2014. So I've been in this world, I guess, for almost 12 years. And I've just learned so much about life, about transformation, about healing, about what happens after a massive transformation. And and I want to bring that all to you. My programs, over this last year and a bit, I would say, I I I went through, I think I'm not entirely sure because I'm still too close to it. But I think I went through everything that I went through, which I will get to in the series, because it was to bring me back to what it's like to be there. Because when I first started all of this, it was back in July of 2019. And through that process, also, I got so many downloads on what my business model was to look like. And so I have spent the last few months building that. And super proud of it. I know that things are ever evolving and so things will be added and changed and that. But now it's time for the people. And I realized that I needed to share myself. I needed to share my story, my truth, my perspective, on all of these things. And when I think back to 2019 when I first started and I was fresh out of the womb on all of this stuff, I was, I'll talk about this in a bit, but invincible. And then, a global pandemic hits. And it takes one business and it goes right out the window because it was all in person. And then this new one starts. Talk about divine timing. Anyway, the spark to this whole series is I've had this like thing in me. It's like, Paige, you have to start showing up on video. Like, people need to see you, people need to get to know you. And you're not allowing them to right now because I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. I was in my own shit, you know? And so it's interesting because there's this saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so recently I found a mentor teaching ethical marketing, which just aligns so perfectly with me. And so I wanted to share my life, my work, my all of my perspectives on things, my beliefs on things, not to convince or to chase people like I did in the past, you know, just to share enough of myself so that others can feel if working with me is right for them. So, you know, working together is the right fit. And so then if my energy and my words and my story resonate, it's great, you know, and if not, that's okay too. And so what to expect is I just finished mapping things out. I'm sure there'll be more. I'm sure things will sort of change and ebb and flow a little bit. But basically, I have 82 videos already mapped out. None of them will be scripted. They'll all have point forms just like I'm doing today. And I remember when I was a cycling coach, I had a marketing coach who said, Paige, just start showing up on YouTube, do a video every week. And I was like, okay. And I remember I was so scared to show up on video and I was like, oh my God. And I had like my sticky notes everywhere and everything like that. And so here we are, you know, we're starting new on a different topic. And um and so I'm going to be sharing everything from like my own personal breakthroughs and belief change, you know, to sovereignty, to grief, to real growth, to politics, to religion, to all the things that I'm going to be sharing on here. I have them all categorized. Um, and I just really want to, you know, talk about what I've learned, what's worked, what hasn't, um, and just sort of share like why things are the way they are, especially for my people, so that they can understand, you know, why they are where they are, and the perspective that I've gained from living, eating, sleeping, going to the bathroom, you know, with this work. I eat, sleep, and breathe this work. It's what I do. It's not perfect all of the time. I can tell you that. Um, but yeah, again, you know, the bigger context here is, do I want to say this? I don't know. It's just, you know, over the years, like since I started my first business, I've just learned a lot. And just working with all of the clients that I've worked with on the various different topics, I've learned a lot. And I've learned how to be resilient. I've learned about reinvention. I mean, shit. I am a a 5 time Scorpio in my chart for those of you who are into astrology, and also a 6-2 generator in human design. So reinvention, transformation is written all over me. It's my thing. I will go as deep as my clients will allow me to go, because I've been deep. And just how I lead, how I can lead through chaos. The intention that I have here is I don't know exactly how this will all unfold, but I am here for it. Um, this is about being in a process of doing this and not about perfection. I left the perfection thing a long time ago. I remember thinking, you know, in order to do something this, I'd have to have it like all planned out, everything planned out, scripts planned out, all the things. And I just realized you just start, right? But it takes a bit to get there. There are still things that in my recent past that I'm still finding the words um, and the meaning behind because we make meaning of everything. And so, but by the time I reach video 82, I mean, I'll probably have things to share that I wasn't ready to say here. So, in closing, I invite you to come along for the ride. This is the Unfiltered with Paige Royal series. It's real conversations on growth, healing, and the work that sets you free. And and that is it. So I'm excited to get started on this. I don't know actually when it's going to start. If you're watching this now, you know that I am Canadian and it is the Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. And so family is starting to come, I believe, tomorrow or this evening. And so these videos and recording these videos require me to well, everything that I do really requires my presence. And so I want to be fully on and sharing because the first video that I'm going to be sharing is taking us way back to 2017 when I would think that that was my biggest rock bottom and how I got into this and what I was going through at that time. And so it will be a longer video, likely, probably the longest video of the series, um, just to let you in to see, like, here's where I was. These were the things I was dealing with. These were the thoughts that I was thinking. And these were all the areas of my life that were upside down. So, thanks for joining me today. Um, whether you're seeing this on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, I would love if you hit the like button. Um, it does wonders for visibility on these platforms. And so anytime I'm doing a video, I'm going to ask that. And of course, I will be doing some calls to actions for the various programs that I do at some point throughout the videos as well. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous. It's Paige from Unfiltered.